Oh yeah, baby, she's a pretty outboard. I need to get a stand built and so I can start checking things out. But Charlie brought this over with all that other stuff he got me or brought me. It had 18 horse written on it, but it's a perfect fit for this 25. This is the original head. Yeah, I'll show you real quick. See how loose these plug holes are? Then this one finally stripped out. Then this one, it's a little bit loose too. If you're not working on it and yanking them in and out all the time, it's not going to be a big problem. You know, see, it's pretty snug. Then this one, not bad. Anyway, I bought the inserts to fix this one. Frickin' fragger. Didn't want to put any more money in this thing, not that I have a ton of money in it. This one, you see how this is deep, but it's smaller. So I'm thinking this is an 18 horse. This is the 20. This is the 25. Wrong, outboard breath. This is not an 18 horse power head or cylinder head. I did some homework. Turns out 25 horse, 71, same year as this. And I just, I got curious, so I jumped online, started comparing pictures, the one I had to ones online. And as always, go to eBay and you can see real life pictures of what people are selling. Same exact paint, everything exactly the same, the small, deep, the exact same head. Part number turned out to be 1971 25 horse. So I got a couple of pictures copied. I'll put them up there too. Well, you're probably seeing them right now. Anyway, keep it as a 20. I got the kit. I'm going to fix the threads on the other head. Pain in the ass, expensive. So you just shove this thing in there like that. The first set of threads, so basically a thread chaser, cleaner type thing. The second thread is going to cut this thing out. Then here are your 3 different lengths. And you screw them in, and then you take the smacker. There's an edge on these things. It kind of has an expander on it, and when you tap it, it opens that puppy up and locks it in real good. Plus, 14 bucks for Loctite. Sometimes I've done this with my drill. Just back it in, back it out, back it in, back it out. Keep it lubed up, but I'll put a socket on this. All right, let me get a little WD. Oh, come on, don't tell me. Damn it, man. Right off the bat here, come on. Well, this is the best way I could come up with. Now it's coming through. Look to me like I needed the very shortest one, which is the 5/16. Yeah. Well, you got to be right on that thread. The wrench. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'll take it back out. Oh, it's got to be right on it. Now, I would like to get the plug out so I can tap the thing down. Let's see if I can. I don't know. Hell no. Just gonna have to leave it in there. Tap it down later. I guess it'll be alright. The Loctite will take care of it. I don't remember doing it that way the last time I did this crap. I don't want to make this thing into an 18. That's why I bought the inserts. I don't want to use this head because it goes to that blue Evinrude 75, which has been on the list forever. Here's the old one. She's a mess. Look at this. Weird, right? Can you see that? How it's all... The same thing happened the first time. This thing will take in all the air that's in this hose. Somewhere it's getting air through. So this fills up with air. And this thing was full, full already. But the pumping the primer bulb is pushing some air through. So then what's happening is this is filling up the carb, or behind the carb, going into the intake there. And that's where all the flooding starts, because the more you pump that, the more this is getting pushed in to get all the bubbles out. You can feel the carburetor get hard, but you still see all those bubbles. And it sounds like you're just pumping air, but it's actually pushing fuel through. I only gave it like one primer. Man, the compression on this thing is ridiculous again. I can barely pull it. I can't get too, thump, 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 thump. And every time I pull the plugs out, man, they were soaking wet. So the same thing happened as the last time. There must have been so much fuel in there for me pumping that primer bulb up, trying to get the air out. The next cheapest way out is the primer pump that I used on that one motor. I can't think of it offhand, but it was made for a jet ski. And they're called jet ski primer pumps, and you can get them real cheap on eBay. That's been a few years ago. I don't know what they cost now, but compared to an OMC pump, it's cheap. Now, I did a compression test. You're not even going to believe it. The top was coming out at like 160. The bottom was coming out at like 140. I'm trying to think too. One of these, I kept saying, I think it was the bottom, was always dripping oil. Wow, I didn't even notice this, if it means anything. Right here, it says 2020. You see the bottom of this gasket, how nasty it got? It's all swollen. Even the top is messed up. And this. But I'm thinking that's why the bottom compression was lower than the top. So this is about the closest thing I could come to anything near straight. I should be able to see a little bit. Usually I take a flashlight, but oh, that looks freaking great there. Jeez, that looks freaking great. That looks great. That looks great. No light coming through. Wow. Looks great. Looks great. Looks great. Oh yeah. Thank you, outboard God. Alright, so what I did was pull the pull start off. Got the drill out. Put the compression tester on. Give it a little pop-a-rooney around. That's on number 1. Whoa, I went my rag. Right in the water. Boom, 120. I also put the new gasket on. And this is not the original head. This is the 25 head. Let that thing sit in the sun and dry. Let's see what the bottom says. I noticed too, this new O-ring I put on the compression tester is already deteriorating. It's not gas and oil on zero. Gas and oil resistant. Oh, come back here. Boom, 120, baby. So we're nice and even. I think the reason why the compression was so high that day is because it was so flooded. So to use this, I'm going to need a primer, some type of primer. And there has to be a way either to get around this, like I said, some kind of valve on here that one way, or even one way. If it's, you know, that's not good. It has to, something has to stop and only work by the pressure of the bulb. Now see, some of these have that nipple in the front where that screw, the drain screw and the bowl is, and that nipple will come out as a primer. I'm wondering maybe that might be the ticket. Well, I found some stuff. Found this off this fuel pump, but it's the wrong threads. Alright, so I just went in there and tapped this bowl out with the 67D in it. Boom, she fit. A little bigger than I wanted, but I went around and just put some braces on this freaking thing, both sides, so it's much better than it was. And as it turned out, I had the carburetor open too far. You know, through trying to adjust things, I said, well, it doesn't look like it's open enough. So I opened it up too far to where it was just sucking air. I wasn't getting any fuel back to the plugs. And I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. What's going on? The tank is full. Primed up. I gave it, what'd I give it? 2-3 squirts. Start position. Oh, ho, ho, ho. First pull. Unbelievable. Unfriggin' believable. I can't believe it. First freaking pull. Now that's fast idle, start position. So it probably needs to be opened up a little bit more. Yeah, see, it's not going to go down to idle. It needs to be opened up just a little bit more. Alright, see, this is where I had it open the other day and it didn't want to start because it was just sucking air. Let's see what happens. Alright, so let's put it right after the first mark where it should just start to open and see where it's at. See, it doesn't want to idle down there. Alright, so we're up at start position. It's right at the second mark. That's not too bad. So it just needs to be tweaked in. And that was right at the second mark. Then too, I've said it 100 times. Sometimes you gotta set these things where they want to frickin' run. This is still not right, but it's getting closer. You know, it did all right with the original older carb on it and stuff. Then I brought it in after the first runs and 22 miles an hour, and you know, it was firing up and everything, and it needed, you know, what I'm doing now. Then I got that hair at my ass to swap the carb. Just curious. Oh yeah. It's not working. It's not working. Rounding it out, so man, boy, now she's like almost on the money. Wow, I thought this was going to be the cure, but it's still pulling fuel through there. Oh well, back to the drawing board. But it was fun while I tried. You know, I won't be doing anything like that again. I can't believe it's still pulling fuel through that little tiny frickin' hole. And man, what a difference. Cap it off, RPMs pick up. Put it back on, it slows back down, sucking too much fuel. Then when I revved it, you saw the smoke, it burned off all that excess fuel it was sucking. Alright, so I've got one other alternative. And other than putting the older carb style back on it, because this isn't going to work, unless I'm going to spend $100 for a primer pump, which I'm not, which I have one in there, but I'm not putting a $100 primer pump on this thing. Not when I got all these freaking carbs and crap laying around. But I do have this style carb. Newer style carb. Adjustment is here on the side, not in the front. But it still has a choke. Manual choke. I might give it a shot, clean it up and see what happens, or just go straight back to the old style. Don't matter to me. I don't know, for some reason on this little carb it was just running so good. Plus too, the other thing, this isn't the original head. I'm going to go back to that. This is just a temporary thing while the other one was drying up for 24 hours, which it should be totally dry now. Sounds pretty good. That's about 1.5 right there. Well, it's almost right on the money. Wow. Not too far away, but you don't know what's going to happen when you change that carb around. But she's fine. And that's with that other head on it too. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to you know, it's going to run fine with either head, but that head is made for, I mean, when that piston comes up, if you see the pictures of it, or the actual head I had laying here, that one, man, it's like hitting a brick wall. There's like nothing, you know, it's just carved out. Half of it is still solid. You know, where the other ones were so, like, you know, foiled and, you know, smooth, you know, the exhaust. I think it was the exhaust side, you know. I don't know, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, baby, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of This Old Outboard. Follow the real life saga and get your subscription today. You never know what's gonna happen next. You know the channel.